A majority of the population of Mauritania depends on agriculture and livestock for a livelihood, even though most of the nomads and many subsistence farmers were forced into the cities by recurrent droughts in the 1970s and 1980s. Mauritania has extensive deposits of iron ore, which account for almost 50% of total exports. The decline in world demand for this ore, however, has led to cutbacks in production. With the current rise in metal prices, gold and copper mining companies are opening mines in the interior. The nation's coastal waters are among the richest fishing areas in the world, but overexploitation by foreigners threatens this key source of revenue. The country's first deep-water port opened near Nouakchott in 1986. In recent years, drought and economic mismanagement have resulted in a buildup of foreign debt. In March 1999, the government signed an agreement with the joint World Bank International Monetary Fund mission on a $54 million enhanced structural adjustment facility. The economic objectives have been set for 1999 to 2002. Privatization remains one of the key issues. Macroeconomic trend. This is a chart of trend of gross domestic product of Mauritania at a market prices estimated by the International Monetary Fund with figures in millions of Mauritanian ougalias. Current GDP per capita of Mauritania grew 82% in the 60s, reaching a peak growth of 166% in the 70s. But this proved unsustainable and growth consequently scaled back to 14% in the 80s. Finally, it shrank by 29% in the 90s. Mean wages were 97 cents per man-hour in 2009. Diversification. In 2007, mining industries accounted for well over 35% of the Mauritanian economy, with the fish industry so much as 54%. Diversification of the economy into non-mining industries remains a long-term issue. Mauritania is a net importer of food, reportedly importing 70% of its domestic food needs. Dispute with Woodside Petroleum. In February 2006, the Mauritanian government announced amendments to an oil contract made by former leader Maouia Ould Taya with Woodside Petroleum, an Australian company. In 2004, Woodside had agreed to invest $600 million in developing Mauritania's Chinguetti offshore oil project. The controversial amendments, which Mauritanian authorities declared had been signed outside the legal framework of normal practice, to the great detriment of our country, could cost Mauritania up to $200 million a year, according to BBC News. Signed by Woodside 2 weeks after the February 1, 2005 legislation authorizing the four amendments. They provided for a lower state quota in the profit oil, and reduced taxes by 15% in certain zones. They also eased environmental constraints, and extended the length and scope of the exploitation and exploration monopoly, among other measures. The disputed amendments were signed by former oil ministers Idna Ould Maida in February 2004 and March 2005. Maida was arrested in January 2006 on charges of serious crimes against the country's essential economic interests. Nouakchott's authorities declared that the government would likely seek international arbitration, which Woodside also contemplated. Discovered in 2001, Chinguetti has proven reserves of about 120 million barrels of oil. At the end of December 2005, authorities estimated that in 2006, the oil profits would be 47 billion ouïs and represent a quarter of the state budget, according to RFI. The Australian Federal Police are investigating Woodside for allegations of bribery and corruption in Mauritania. Some U.S. oil companies are alleged to be playing a part in Mauritania's oil-related corruption.